Hi there, and welcome to this episode of Consciousness Empowerment. Here we talk about consciousness, wisdom, spiritual laws, and how to reach your fucking dreams. Today, we're going to talk about the law of assumption and how you don't have to do much besides assuming the wish fulfilled, which is visualizing and feeling the feeling of having it already. Okay. Then I'm going to go over two techniques. Okay, two techniques. The second one, you may have not heard of yet. It's rarely heard of in the law of assumption, law of attraction circles. So let's get started. Your assumption will harden into fact. Okay, this is what I'm gonna read. All right. Quote: the sensation which dominates the mind of man as he falls asleep, and though false, will harden into fact. Assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled as we fall asleep is the command to this embodying process, saying to our mood, be thou actual. In this way, we become, through a natural process, what we desire to be. That's the key, through a natural process, okay? So as we fall asleep or we get into a state akin to sleep, being very relaxed and in a good mood, and we assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, all right? We're feeling it. We're seeing the images as vividly real, or we're just feeling it. We are telling the universe, our consciousness, the creator of the universe, because all is thought and consciousness, be thou physical. Be physical. That's how everything will change in your circumstance, okay? If you stay faithful to the feeling of the wish fulfilled, even though you don't see the results or any sign of the evidence physically, okay, besides your faith in it. That's the only evidence you have, is your faith in it, okay, until it does change. All right. Now, this is where the amazing law of attraction comes into play, okay? And I'm going to explain it through some quotes, okay? Quote: where consciousness is placed, you do not have to take the physical body. It gravitates there in spite of you. Things happen to compel you to move in the direction where you are consciously dwelling. Things happen where you will move, you will take some action, or it will come to you, all right? Quote: but if I open my eyes, the bilocation which I created vanishes, and I am here back in the physical form that I left behind me as I went to prepare a place. But I prepared the place nevertheless, and I will in time dwell there physically. There's a quote on this in the Bible too, so I'm going to quote the Bible here next. Quote: in my Father's house are many mansions. If there were not, I would have told you. I go to prepare a place for you. And if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come again and receive you unto myself, that where I am, there you may be also. I am is consciousness. I am. It's amazing how they put I am. It's like so very subtle in there, but very, very powerful. And a mansion is a state. There's many mansions. There's many states. Many states that you can obtain. Neville Goddard says this. The many mansions are the unnumbered states within your mind. For you are the house of God. In my Father's house are unnumbered concepts of self. You could not in eternity exhaust what you are capable of being. Because our consciousness it's unlimited. As long as we think, we keep thinking, it never stops. Okay? But we can choose the direction of it. And here's an amazing quote. Also kind of is very, very similar to the mansion one. Hey, shh, what are you doing? No. How do you get it? Shh. No. Shh. He ends up getting my markers. Here's a quote from the Bible. Quote: wherever the sole of your foot shall tread, that have I given unto you. All right. That's from the Old Testament. So it's saying wherever you tread, okay, using your mind, wherever you tread, that I have given to you, that I will give to you, okay? That I have given unto you. mentally. Wherever you tread, you will go there. And don't take this lightly, because if you tread somewhere, you're like, oh, I'm just gonna play around with this shit. Let me see if I get this. You're gonna fucking get it. Make sure it's something you really want. Okay, this is the law. And a little story about me is that one time I was having sex in my mind, in my imagination, and certain positions. I even actually acted it out, okay? But in my mind, I was having sex. So physically, I was acting it out. Kind of like in the Secret, you could see some guy. He's like, yeah, close your eyes and pretend you're driving. So he's like, some guy is closing his eyes, some bald guy, and he's pretend driving. Like his hands are literally moving, but his eyes are closed. I was like that, but doing positions, and I just let it go. I was like, man, just I had to do something with all that energy, you know. But so, I did that. I visualized it, and I kind of acted it out, and I just let it go. And I had to come back from like doing my personal training, because I was a personal trainer, and I was finished. I was coming back home, and I was like looking at my DMs, because I was sending out messages to people and potential clients. And then I got a message. Looked at my Facebook Messenger, and it was this girl who I tried to get with a few times. I remember we would go out and eat and hang out, and at one time I wanted to go into her apartment. So like, hey, so I got her to her apartment, and I said, can I come in? She's like, no, you can't. I'm like, all right. And as soon as I said, can I come in? She said, no, you can't. Her friend was right there. So I'm like, that probably gave it even more of a powerful thing to like not let me in. Maybe she could have said, oh, you know what? Yeah, come in. She could have changed her mind. So girls are like that. And so they just do that so they don't look like they're easy. You know what I mean? Like if you get on a date, they're gonna be like, I'm not gonna kiss you, but then you end up kissing her. She ends up kissing you or something like that. But I digress from that topic. And yeah, I was like, all right, cool, let's hang out. It was that girl, and who had not let me get with her. And this was a couple years later, like maybe 3 years later. And I said, okay, yeah, come over, and then we'll go eat ramen. And in my mind, back of my head, I'm like, she's probably not even going to come, because she didn't like me in that type of way before. We were just hanging out as friends. Very friendly thing, not sexual, which I wanted to be very sexual with her. And so I just, yeah, whatever, she's a friend. Let's get in touch again. It's been a couple of years. She came to my apartment, and I wasn't even ready. I'm like, oh, okay, just let me go brush my teeth. I want to go brush my teeth. And I told her, you can wait. But before I went to go brush my teeth, she was in the living room. I said, just wait right here in the living room. I'll come back. Let me go brush my teeth. She's like, no, well, where's your room? All right, you want to go to my room? It's over here. Just, wait for me. Sit on my bed, wait for me. Because I didn't have a chair. I think I just had like a desk chair, but the bed is more comfortable. So, hey, I just sit on the bed. I'll be back. Brushed my teeth, came back, sat down. And I was going to start talking to her like, so, how you been? But she just put her hand on my thigh, on the inner of my thigh. I'm like, oh, that's a wrap. So I just started making out with her. And the sequence that I visualized, I think it was a couple days before, maybe a day before, in my imagination, and that I acted out, manifested. I was like, dang. Marshy dropped something. Come here. Here. Sit down. And at that time, I thought it was just a coincidence. I'm like, man, that's a coincidence. What I visualized fucking came true. I'm like, but like we don't believe this shit is real, because we're so fucking focused on the exterior and the physical world. This physical world right now in this point in time does not understand this shit. Only we do. Those who study this, who've been studying this. I've been studying this for 6 years on a daily basis. Been doing gratitude for 6 years on a daily basis. Okay, now I'm manifesting like in a rapid clip. I'm feeling better and better every day. Realizing my emotions, realizing that exercise is what's getting me on a high vibration. Realizing that gratitude really gets my mind shifted on the good in life. And I notice when I'm looking at the negative, so I start like changing. Start changing it, start reshifting it. 6 years, but I never give up, because I knew there was something real about it. Thank you, Bob Proctor, who was my first coach in mindset training. And yeah, so a lot of people have been helping me out. And now I'm helping you out. I'm giving back. Because what does the man who has everything do? He gives it all away. And we all want is our happiness in this, our mind. We want ourselves. Everything we look for is within ourselves. So ultimately, we're just trying to come back to ourselves and remember that we have everything that we need. All right. We have everything that we need. We have the thought and the feeling, and the thought and the feeling and the action is what's going to get us the result. Hey. Oh, okay. I thought he was eating my notebook because he's eating his chew toy. And here's the 2 techniques, okay? The 1 technique is the focus on an event after the fact that you've achieved your goal, okay? I'm going to quote Neville. Quote, know what you want, then construct a single event, an event which implies fulfillment of your wish. Restrict the event to a single act. For instance, if I single out as an event shaking a man's hand, then that is the only thing I do. I do not shake it, then light a cigarette and do 1,000 other things. I simply imagine that I am actually shaking hands and keep the act going over and over and over again until the imaginary act has all the feeling of reality. The event must always imply fulfillment of the wish. Okay? Always construct an event which you believe would naturally encounter following the fulfillment of your desire. Okay, so you decide. Then, technique number 2. This is if you can't visualize for some reason, but this is how I manifested a big fat check, $25,000 check. Okay, I just said, how do I feel now that I received a fat check? And then boom, I do this constantly, and it works very well for me. And he says this, quote, there is another technique I gave you last night. If you cannot concentrate on an act, if you cannot snuggle into your chair and believe the chair is elsewhere, just as though elsewhere were here, then do this. Reduce the idea, condense it to a single simple phrase. Isn't it wonderful? Or thank you, it is done and finished. Okay, so ask yourself, how do you feel now that you got it? Okay, how do you feel now that you got whatever it is? All right, oh, I feel this, okay. Feel it and then say, thank you, thank you. He says, it's done. Isn't it wonderful? Okay. For me, I use, isn't it wonderful? And I say, yeah. Isn't it wonderful? Yeah. Then I add 2 more phrases. Something amazing just happened right now. Something great just happened right now. And remember, thought and feeling equals creation. You first feel it, then the manifestation comes, okay? You first feel it, then the manifestation comes. You first feel it, then the manifestation comes. That's just in a nutshell. But remember, you have to choose the event or choose the goal. How do I feel now that I received X? X is your goal, right? That's your thought. Now you summon the emotion, the feeling, and now it is coming into fruition as long as you stay faithful to it and do it every single day. Okay, that's how you consistently raise your vibration. Just like you should be working out every single fucking day to raise your vibration, to stay at a high frequency and not be in the lack and limitation and the doubt and the fears and the anger and the lower vibrations. Your ideal, your wish is not there. It's up here and feeling good or what have you. All right, hope you like this one. Until next time, I love you. Peace.